Oh, are you serious? We're live?
Yeah.
Wow, this is going real smooth today.
One
of our smoothest shows yet.
My RTMP key only works for 2 minutes, so I had to just use it.
Okay, do you know what platform we're live on?
We should be live on all of them.
Oh my god. Wow. Hi everybody. Oh man. Are you sure we're live somewhere?
Yep.
Alright, wow. Welcome to the studio. I'm David Austin, and that's my lovely tech person, quote unquote, Crescent today. It's not her fault. Apparently somebody was trying to get into our computer and she had to redo everything. So, complete wipe. Are we live on the webcam too? Is this lined up?
Oh,
there?
yeah.
Is that good?
Give me a second.
Okay, we're... So, as some of you that have followed us for a while realize, our midweeks are totally off the cuff, and we barely have time to throw these together because we're just busy during the middle of the week. But anyway, we're going to do some painting. I'm going to paint. If you have questions, shoot them out to us. We'll talk about that. We've got some, we'll remind you about certain things. Go check out the links in the Instagram, for example. The link tree there has some cool stuff, and if you like the videos, please throw us a buck or two on the support me page there. And that's the extent of the NPR fundraiser for today, I think, at the moment. But I do have something really interesting here that we're going to cover. This painting down here where I did some taping. It's a big piece. You're going to see it in a minute. Don't worry, she's working on stuff. It's 44 inches by 60 inches, so it's a pretty good sized piece, and it's all on paper. But I did some tape techniques with it, and I held off working anymore the last day because I thought it would be cool to share it with you. And I don't do a lot of taping when I'm doing painting, so it's been kind of an experience. What else was there? Well, there was something else. I wanted to talk about briefly archival stuff, or what was the term somebody used? Steadfast material or something like that.
Yeah.
Let me give you some background. My background came from ceramics, from public art, large-scale corporate sculptures, municipalities, that kind of thing. And so I was doing very, very large. And so they're exterior pieces, and I was very cognizant about timelessness of the piece because they're going in for quite a while. It's a big investment for a lot of places. And also upkeep over weather and so forth. So I got a comment which kind of amused me a little bit, because it was kind of one of those underhanded ones a little bit, in my opinion. And I'm sorry if you're watching and that's not what you intended, this person that said that. That they only use steadfast material or something like that. Yes, watercolors are inherently not permanent, as well as tempera paints, gouache paints, charcoals, pastels, oil pastels, chalk. Did that cover pretty much the gamut of it?
I think so.
They're not inherently permanent, but if you fix them with the spray fixative first, and then you varnish them with a UVA, UVB protectant varnish, it will protect the piece just as well as all the so-called steadfast materials. In fact, a little better because you're adding plastic to it and a chemical that prevents it from deterioration under UVA, UVB lights. And let's be honest, how many people are going to have their artwork outside in the sunshine on the front of the house? Like we have one in the front of the house that I did, and I've had it out there for over a year now, and we're testing it to see because I'm really curious about how the artwork's going to stand up. And later this summer or this spring, we'll go and we'll check that out and we'll look at that. So it's funny for me to get some of these comments because I'm off of one video, or in this case, a reel that they saw, which, as you know, is like, 30 seconds fat. And, if people are going to comment on something, you should at least do a little research into the person that you're talking to. So anyway, that's my spiel on that thing. So a lot of the techniques I'm teaching are not inherently archival. But the paper I'm working on is archival. The substrates are archival. And then I am sealing things. When I am finally done with them, they are varnished with the proper sealant, UVA protectant. So that's what I do. And so if you want more details about how we do that, or shoot some questions out to us, because I have no idea if anybody's out there
Well,
because of our technical issues.
Yeah, Instagram is not working.
We're not on Instagram right now?
It says we are, but I can't see that.
Oh boy. It's getting interesting. You want my phone over there? I don't know why I have my phone over here. So we're on Twitch or something?
We're on Twitch and YouTube.
Alright, well we're on YouTube. We'll
I'm
see
gonna go
what
ahead and,
happens. Is it recording the YouTube?
Oh yeah, I mean I've got it going. Everything's recording.
Are you okay, so you're gonna live off of my phone?
I'm gonna have to.
Alright, grab that and then I don't want to get too far ahead because we got such a lot of people on Instagram that are kind of friendly and stuff. So, you want to move this down to, maybe I can move it down on the,
Either you can
hey
move it down,
guys,
or you can just switch to
okay,
your love camera,
here we go. I don't know how to do that, but we'll do this. There's the piece I'm working on, so at least you can see. And I did record the beginning stages of this, so there's going to be a couple of views of this for anybody that actually is watching on our technologically challenged day. I don't think my head's in it, but I did some tape work on this. I tore some of the tape off already, and it's a painter's tape that I'm using. It should be pretty good. But I had 4 sheets of paper. I have a big roll, but the big roll is 15 feet long, and I'm working on it right now as a big, almost like a tapestry piece. So I don't want to get into the big roll of paper I have. But I had a bunch of these 22 by 30 inch pieces of paper, hot press, 140 pound.
We're now live on Instagram.
We're live on Instagram. Hi Instagram. If anybody actually is here yet on that too, thanks for coming. We've had technical issues today. Hopefully some of our regulars will find us today.
Yeah.
Okay, I have no idea what camera's on. You're in charge now. You're back to normal. So this was acrylic. Primarily acrylic, and I pulled a lot of it. I did this. You're going to see a completed video on the YouTube, probably IGTV, coming up. Do I need to adjust it?
Yeah, I see only half the board.
Okay. You want it back?
Perfect. There you go.
Right.
Stop, please.
Is that it?
You can come back just a little bit more. There.
It's spring loaded, so.
Okay, I just
down.
stretch the other direction. There you go. Fun times.
Middle of the week trauma. So anyway, I did some tape work on this, and I don't normally do tape work. And I also taped down the paper. Someone was asking how do I reduce the amount of wrinkling in paper. The paper inherently wants to wrinkle when you add different kinds of moistures to it and different kinds of pigment and thicknesses of pigment. So it is a challenge to work with. But one of the ways to limit that, you can see it's still pretty flexible, is to tape everything down. So the borders are taped, and then I did some taping on the seams, and then I got tape here that I took off yesterday, and I started pulling some paint through the white area. So we're going to just work on this piece today, and I'll answer questions about a myriad of subjects if you have any questions today.
Well, it's going to be a little hard because now I'm having other issues. This is just a cluster of technical problems.
So I'm going to I saved a bunch of these tape pieces because they're just kind of cool. Does anybody have a view anywhere?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying really hard. I don't know.
And so I'm going to peel some of these off. Hopefully we're recording it at least.
Yeah, I'm recording it.
So we do have the recording part that you can edit later.
Yeah.
You can post.
It's taking up space on my already full drive, but yeah, it is.
Whoops. So, we didn't get a lot of sleep either. The toddler was kind of a challenge last night. I'm having trouble getting this tape off. This is the problem if you let the tape stay so the paint can dry. It is kind of a problem to get off. So then I have to go back in. But I do like the texture out of these, and I've saved a bunch of it already. Let me set that over here. I'm still within earshot.
Wave. Hey, everybody on Instagram, I'm having issues with my usual response method, so...
Is there somebody there?
There's a lot of people here.
Oh, hi guys.
I just don't have the system set up right now.
We had a problem, a technical problem, and Kristen had to go into her computer and gut it completely because we had somebody that was in her computer, apparently.
Yeah.
And they weren't supposed to be in her computer, clearly, because it's her computer. And so she had to purge the whole thing, and now she's having to reset it, and we thought we had it, but apparently we don't. So she's struggling a little bit, but better today than on a Saturday, because Saturdays are a little more planned usually. I have a fun day Saturday. Is
Okay.
anybody over there?
Here, I'll switch it to the night time.
I don't
Now
care
they
where
can
we
see your
are.
face.
Fun day Saturday coming up. I'm going to go crazy, really nuts on a big painting, probably 4x8, and I'm going to use some unusual stuff in it, and it's going to be crazy. In fact, I'm probably going to have to wear a really big schmock. Is that right? It's a schmock?
It's a smock.
Schmock?
Schmuck.
Schmock is
It's not
funnier.
schmuck.
Schmuck?
It's smock.
No, I'm not a schmuck. I try not to be anyway. So anyway, it's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. We're just going to rock out, man, as our toddler says. Rock out, rock out. So anyway, that'll be fun. And I'm not gonna spoil the surprise what we're going to do, but it's going to be wacky.
To all of our Twitch users, all of my OBS settings are now wrong too. So yay! Just enjoy the crazy.
It'd be crazy here. Midweek crazies. It's been a challenging week in general. By the way, if you're an artist, I would highly recommend not using PayPal as one of your payment sources.
Please God.
We are still waiting for payment for a painting that has been shipped and delivered to Canada, and PayPal still hasn't released the funds to us. Don't use them. Use somebody else, one of the other payment programs out there, and there's a bunch of them out there, but we're not the only ones that have had this problem. And, you know, as an artist, you can't have that tied up. You pay for the shipping and the packaging and all that, and then you're waiting on a bunch of money, and it's a problem. And so we still haven't been paid for artwork that I've shipped to Canada 2 weeks ago. So that's fun. It's been a challenge this week. It really has. Look at this paint is. So one of the problems with this particular tape, and again, I don't usually do a lot of tape techniques, but I kind of like the texture, resulting texture. I'm setting them over here. I'm going to use them for collage coming up. I've got some cans I'm going to crush up and all kinds of fun stuff. So that's going to be in one of the subsequent, probably one of the other Saturdays we do. And that's a funny little.
I am gonna have to jump from Chrome to Bing.
Yeah, that's funny.
This hurts a little.
Does anybody use Bing?
I don't know, but I'm gonna have to.
So the tape, as we get it off the center point here, I'm going to then go back in with some color. Okay, so if anybody's still paying attention to this chaos today, I'm going to leave the peripheral. Tape on.
Hi Gyokito. Hi Kenzie.
We'll leave a couple people join us.
Yeah. I don't know how they even know we're here because I still can't find us on our feed. It's not showing us this live, which is usually how I respond to everybody.
Okay, so again, I'm putting the tape over there. I'm going to use that for collage. We're getting a collage piece coming in the mail here soon from Matthew Hilliard. Is that right?
Yep, that's right.
Check him out on Matthew Hilliard on Instagram. Check him out. He's cool. We got one piece of his already, and we ordered a collage one of his, and it kind of inspired me to play with this tape and some other materials. Because if you saw our collage video a couple weeks ago, we did it with just the paper, torn up pieces of my art, which is always fun. So I'm at the stage, so this was preliminary, doing all this work on here and taping it down. Now I'm going to go back in and I'm going to start altering it. Right now I'm using a Posca marker. I'm just going to draw some lines in it and start laying things out to create a little more structure in the piece, but also I'm going to fill in some different colors as I go. So this is just kind of a paint along, if you've got it, or isn't that nice and squeaky? Or just hang out with me and shoot some questions to an artist that's, struggling with technology today.
I will do my best to respond to anybody asking a question over Instagram because your chat bar is not showing up.
That's weird.
Yeah.
So the Poscas are pretty cool because you can actually kind of blend them a little bit too. I don't know if anybody's played with that aspect of them yet. They're blendable. So maybe I'll show an example of that here in a second after I lay a few more of these in. But I wanted a real horizontal layout this time, but I had a hard time getting away from the verticals because that's what I like to do. So here's some light to dark contrast, kind of give it some depth, the appearance of depth. That's why we do the light to dark. Overlapping will create some depth too, so I'm kind of looking what makes sense to overlap. So you've got some overlapping here. And I'm going to pull some color, some acrylic color into some of this, if I can find some here. Just wait a second. I wasn't going to do blue, but I'm leaning towards the blue today. Leaning back towards my blue. I think I'm going to do a yellow though, right here. Pull a little yellow there, and then I'm going to pull a little bit of yellow here across the piece there, and then a little bit more here with my palette knife. Big old, so satisfying. So we're building up some nice layers. Now this gets a little tricky when you're pulling over a couple different layers of paper. So you got to kind of help things along a little bit. And I don't mind having the differences in the color there. I can go back in and I can move that paint around, pick it up from some areas that have it thicker, and then I can move it over into the parts that need it. So I'm going to go right across that piece. There we go. That's fun. It's a happy little yellow. This is the cadmium deep hue, which is one of my absolute favorites for highlighting anything. It just glows. It's just a beautiful, beautiful color. I can't get away from it, and I'm sorry. I keep coming back to it, everybody. Okay, that's fun. Get the towel out. So a little side note, by the way. I've been testing, people have been asking me the paper that I use, and I've been playing with something new and different. The Crescent board here has been a lot of fun. This is a Crescent watercolor board, and this is actually 140-pound watercolor hot press paper that's bound to a really hard backing board, and it doesn't wrinkle like the paper does. I like the kind of the almost fabric-like quality of the paper, but this is fun stuff. We've been playing with this lately. I haven't made a commitment to it fully, but you can see here's some pieces. They've got a lot of different sizes all the way up to 30 by 40. This is from Crescent. I bought this, I think, from Blick, but I think Jerry's has it too. But it's nice. It's watercolor paper. It's just bound on the board, and it makes mounting a lot easier. It makes also the painting, when you do a lot of wet media on watercolor, you know, this stuff just curls and wrinkles all up. It's a pain in the butt to work with. So those are exciting. So a little tip, pick some up. It'll be a lot of fun. And yes, I'm drinking a scotch today because it's kind of been one of those.
Wow. So annoying.
Kristen's still having a problem over there. So this is just a black acrylic latex paint. It's a house paint. And I'm just going to go in and I'm going to do a little bit thicker lines somewhere. I'm going to kind of look at it for a second and see where I want to do that. I'm going to put one right down through here. And one here. Didn't I just say I was going to do all horizontal? I think I've already broken my rule this time. We have the kids upstairs.
Yeah, they're busy.
Busy kids. I'll try and block out some of this section here with a little bit crisper line. I don't even know if you can see much of this over here, guys, but so I'll just use these cheap little plastic cups to carry the paint around with me, and then I can come back with a Ziploc bag or plastic over the top of it. And you can see I'm fighting the curl of the paper a little bit, and that's okay. I don't mind having to deal with these kinds of traumas, if you will, of the material, because I think it adds something to it too. It's all about layers, so we're building layer upon layer upon layer. So even today, as I'm building this layer up, you saw I clearly had a previous layer on there. I'm going to build up more layers and keep moving up until I'm satisfied with it. And there's a little 24 by 30 inch behind the cameras that I've been working on for days and days, as Hugo says, days and days.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to take gray, put some gray in here. This is just a gray wash. I'm going to tone that white down a little bit. This is an acrylic wash, so it has basically a really washed out acrylic. You know what's funny is I've told you guys that I use water a lot of times to thin out my acrylic paints, and I've warned you that the binders are not in it, and it becomes more of like a pigment in water, like watercolor. And what's funny is yesterday, I got an email from Liquitex warning me about that exact problem. I didn't tell you, did I tell you that,
No,
Kristen?
you
Liquitex sent me a little note. I think it was just happenstance, it just happened to be.
They were talking about that.
It just happened to be, yeah. It wasn't actually me. I'm sorry, see, this is what I'm saying. I'm going to step out a few times today.
Everybody in Instagram, just so you know, I don't have access to the chat today, really. Every time I try and talk to you, it'll shake the camera because my computer won't read the chat for whatever reason today.
Oh, well, go back. If you really have burning questions, wait for the recorded one. The recorded comes out after this, right? Everybody knows that?
Yeah.
So the recorded version will come out. And this is that paint stick that we've talked about, one of the paint sticks for quite a while. And ours is coming. Ours is different. It's a different presentation method than this tube, this lipstick tube. And it's going to have I'm not going to spoil it until we're 100% ready to bring it up.
Well, we could say it's vegan.
It's supposed to be vegan, and so we're working to confirm that what we put into it is indeed vegan. And so there's some technical issues on the shipping right now too that's holding up. Some of our raw material hasn't gotten here yet. So we're getting there. For those of you that signed up for this and we're expecting it today or this weekend, it's not quite ready yet.
Well, we couldn't predict the giant storm that took over the United States.
No, in fact, I'm waiting for medicine to come in for me. It's causing a bit of a problem for me right now. So if I suddenly freeze like a robot that's stuck in a...
Yes, these are tempera paint sticks, Creative 76. We are making our own and we'll be releasing them shortly, but yeah, tempera paint stick. Again, these are not archival quality and they're not UVA, so you're going to have to put a fixative on later.
Now Faber-Castell has what they call gelatos, and they're supposed to be a higher quality than the cheaper ones that you can get, like I happen to have today. And they're pretty cool, but I don't have those. What we're going to be doing is different. It's quite a bit different. But they're still safe, like for kids, kids safe. And the delivery system is a little different than this, and it's much cooler. You're gonna love it.
Hi, painting on the spectrum, I said.
Oh, they're there. Hi there.
Favorite fixative? Question mark.
That is a good question. Thanks for the question. It makes me feel like I'm not alone here today because of the technology that's going on. The tech chaos going on over here behind me.
I'm just gonna live with the chaos at this point. I'm not gonna try and fix it anymore. I sure can't.
You can't fix things sometimes.
But back to favorite.
Favorite fixative. Krylon is a good. I like Krylon for a lot of stuff. 3M has one too. I don't have one here, but there's a difference between a fixative. I'm sorry, I'm grabbing stuff over there. Oh, it's over here. Hang on, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I'm just grabbing. Okay. So this is a fixative. This is an archival varnish. There's a difference, okay? A fixative is a workable layer that stabilizes to a certain extent the chalk or the pastels or the watercolors so that you can work on it more or add the varnish. So I have one, a fixative that isn't supposed to kill me. And it, honest to God, smells like the old school hairspray that my mom used to use. I remember as a kid.
Or something?
Yeah, something like that. It smells like that. It's in a spray bottle here. I do not like their delivery system. I'm going to tell you right now. If you're listening, Degas Fixative, which is Spectra Fix, I'm sure made by some other company and relabeled. But, and I'm sorry if I insulted you guys. I didn't really mean to do that. But let's face it, this kind of spray bottle is not really great. We like a spray bottle. We're actually going to be offering it under our name too. But it's a different, and they use it in the hair industry, right?
Yep.
So it looks like this, a little bit different and fancier, but it's a much finer mist, and you can sustain that mist for longer periods of times. These are cool. So I actually, here it is, here's my fixative. So I have the fixative in there. I don't know, can you guys see that up there, here, anywhere? And so I spray that on, let that dry thoroughly, and then I either use the spray varnish, in this case it's golden that I happen to have handy, but Liquitex has a version of it I think is good too, and also Krylon is like the go-to. That's been around forever. But if you're going to spray the varnish, you got to do it in a well-ventilated place. It will stink the heck out of your house or apartment or studio. It's nasty. Wear a mask too when you do it, in my opinion, right?
It's weird, I can access all the comments from the other account.
So you can't.
No. Hi Miguel.
Oh boy.
Nice to see you. Again, everybody, I can't type today, so.
And I kind of apologize. I didn't have a plan, and some of you that are just joining us don't realize this, but our midweek sessions are kind of just painting. It's very cash. People still say cash.
Well, you do.
Cash. It's cash. Okay, sorry. And then the Saturday is where we get a little more serious in what we do. I think, anyway.
Yeah, that's got a plan and
There's a plan. A man with a plan.
email and all that fun stuff. This is pretty much free will in it.
Free will. We just have fun. And sometimes I don't talk at all and I just paint and you guys just got to deal with it.
If anybody wants a 2-camera view, you can go to YouTube or Twitch. And there's a 2-camera view on those platforms.
Will that actually continue past the live?
Yeah, those actually record.
So that records as a 2-camera view?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Actually didn't know that.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's why I'm a little sad that the Instagram isn't cooperating. Oh well, I'll figure it out eventually.
So this is the Posca, Uniposca marker. I haven't found a good substitute for these. They're pretty cool. If you're wondering why there's color right there, it's because I was working on a piece that has a lot of blue back there. It picked up the hue.
You're going to be in that quadrant for a while?
No, I don't know. I'm kind of all over. I'm going with the feel today, and we'll answer questions if there actually is any more today.
Okay. Let's see. Hi, everybody.
So I'm trying to create some continuity in the piece, repeating forms and shape and direction. And I was challenging myself on this piece to kind of do an homage to a few of the artists that I really like, that are very structured. They have a lot of really strong lines that they use, and I wanted to try and recreate some of that feeling. But I'm having a hard time with it because my tendency is to get a little crazy. And so this is really difficult to paint this way for me. And that's why I guess we're showing it too, because we thought it might be interesting to see me challenged in such a way. Okay.
That was a short list. Alright, next song list.
That was it?
Dry Strings. Let's see what this is.
Okay, this is a red wash. This is acrylic wash. So I wouldn't call it an ink or anything, but I definitely would call it a wash. Wasn't going to do a lot of red, but I guess I am today. It's to fill in some of the white that's bugging me. It's not that bad though. So I have to contend with the wrinkles in the piece. And I like to work within the confines of that. I'm fighting adding a really dramatic color right now. I think I'm going to go into my handy dandy generic paint drawer. Paint dating back 20 years. And we're going to put that on there and pull that down. I'm going to use a smaller, hang on, I'll grab something from my stuff over here. Little rubber. This is actually a clay tool that I've used in my clay work. And I'm just going to pull the brown down through this. Sharpen that line up a little bit because, like I said, I've got some wrinkles. So how I'm going to deal with this piece after I'm done, assuming that it survives the creative process, is that I will go in and mount this to a board. So all 4 of these pieces of paper, you can see there's 4 pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, and those 4 pieces are going to be mounted in a using probably a heavy gel medium on a big giant board. So that's going to happen. And then, as I said, it'll be fixed with archival fixatives. And I don't mind the little bit of drips and things. The truth is we all are a little drippy, aren't we? I am anyway. A little bit drippy.
People are getting disconnected.
Oh. You guys are getting disconnected.
Yeah, we're having problems. That's okay.
Severe technical
Just on
stuff
Instagram,
today.
though.
Well, hopefully this is recording today.
Well, yeah, it is recording, and I'm sending everybody over to YouTube because that's working flawlessly, as is Twitch.
Is it really?
Yeah, just Instagram is grumping at me today.
Why? Didn't we pay them our monthly, what's it called when you pay the mafioso? Kidding, please don't banish me. Instagram, I love you. I really do like my Instagram account, honestly. So the other challenge I was trying to do on this one, and thanks for everybody that is actually here today, is I wanted to work in very kind of neutral tones, and you see how well that worked out for me. Not so good. So there were some bright colors that clearly made its way in. Some browns and some different neutral grays and stuff. But we still ended up getting quite a bit of bright color in there because, hey, that's how I work. So I'm reassessing, looking at it, trying to make some decisions.
Thank you. Hey, I found you a cello station.
Nice. I don't know why, but I wanted cello today. My music runs the gamut, as some of you have known from some of you that have been watching me for a little while.
Yeah, if anybody gets disconnected here today on Instagram because they're having issues, you can go to YouTube. We're live there, and it's fun there. You got a two-camera view.
We're not trying to steer you away from Instagram.
No, we're really not. But
we're
today,
really not.
if you get disconnected, we apologize, and that's where you can go. Just look up David Austin Gallery Painting, and you'll see his channel.
It's really our channel.
It is our channel.
Because I wouldn't be here without you.
Oh,
these people would not see me right now. See, now normally if I'm painting here, I would be around the other side, working the other side of the board. Because I can't quite reach that far. So here we go.
Yeah, this is why you can't.
Oh! Oh God, I'm going to get my pants in the marker. Awkward. So awkward. I don't even know if that's going to show up for everybody, but
hello, Francesco. Hello, Paolo.
who's painting today? Anybody painting in that group?
Anybody painting today?
Sometimes a lot of you are painting, which is really cool. I like to hear about that. Nothing earth-shattering today in what I'm doing. Just analyzing, looking, filling out the space. Trying desperately not to add more color. That's a huge challenge for me.
Oh man, Jeff Wenzel, that's a beautiful piece of pottery there.
Well, is he got another one we have to buy?
We do. Look at that one.
Oh yeah, that's nice, Jeff. Check out Jeff Wenzel. Was it Jeff? What's it say? Jeff Wenzel Art?
Jeff Wenzel Art. Spelled like it sounds with a Z. Hi, Alana Shear.
He's got 10,000 followers now. It's pretty
I know,
cool.
that's pretty impressive. I want to be there too.
We're getting there. Oh, that's a little too pink. I'm trying to find the blue or the lavender color I had last time.
Oh, the LaCroix can.
Again, we're not sponsored by anybody. You wouldn't think it was as much as we talk about certain things. Let's add a little color up there. I knew this was going to run, but that's okay. I'm going to work with it. And I know some of you probably can't see that up there. I'm sorry. Actually add a little bit down through here too. So I don't do a lot of drip or pour painting anymore, but occasionally I will add it when it seems appropriate. I did a bunch of drip painting, or the poured painting as a lot of people call it, years ago, and I got over it. I needed more than it could offer me, and I'm not belittling any of them because there's some really, really. Remember that one I showed you that was just phenomenal? So I think there's some people are doing some amazing work with drip painting.
Poured paint, yeah.
Poured paint.
Resin painting.
Resin painting is
one of my little
fascinating
rabbit
too.
holes I get done.
Is it? Are you you cheating on me with other artists? Oh boy.
Just the resin painters.
Well, that's okay then. We've been super busy though with the process of the new paint sticks that we have. We've been really busy formulating and trying to figure out the final formula, and we're tired today.
Do you paint with aquarelle also?
No, someone should send me that. Aquarelle should send me some of that. That would be nice. I've looked at it. You know, my painting studio, if I had my druthers, it would be about 8 times this size, and one whole wall would look like an art store. And I would just kind of get a cart every day and go, I'll try that, and that, and that, and that. I'll put it on the cart, take the cart down, and then I would start painting something on that. And just because I love the exploration, I love trying the new products, but it cost me some money to do it. So right now I'm kind of operating. This is our slower part of the year. We're operating a little bit within a budget, and so I haven't been able to play with that. There's some watercolor sticks that I really want to try too, that I haven't tried yet. So whoever mentioned that, do you like them? Are they pretty cool?
Oh, we got some viewers on YouTube and Twitch today. No response.
Well, it's there's lag time.
Yeah.
Lag time. I don't know if I want to. I'm trying so hard to stay horizontal. You can see already I've broken that. Oh, there's a vertical. There's a vertical. It's hard. It's really hard to. And this is one of the things why I'm doing this with you guys today, is because it's hard to work within new parameters and to break out of where you normally are. And this, one of the things I've been working on is reflective quality. So even though what I put down is black on black, the difference between the acrylic latex that I use to paint on and the Uniposca's paint, which I believe might be, I'm not for sure. I think it's an acrylic latex.
Got a question for you.
Oh, God, thank God.
Do you base your paintings on the journey rather than the outcome? How planned are your works? Smiley face.
That question comes up a lot with me. So how planned am I?
He's more planned than he's ever going to admit.
There you go.
He's intuitive, but I think he uses a lot of... I think his subconscious plans a lot more than his conscious brain.
I will say that I have different levels of painting. Okay? So that's how I'm going to start answering that question. And one level of mine is extreme intuitive responses. So that would be like what I would call the jazz improvisation period. Okay? And a lot of paintings will start like that. So that will be where I set out a piece of paper and I just almost close my eyes and just feel it. I'll get a music that I want to hear. I'll get the paper or the canvas out. I'll throw some pigment on it. I'll get some charcoal out. I'll do some mark making, and then I step back at a certain point, and it's like I did the performance. Now from the performance, I have to refine that and make the recording of it, like in music. Okay, we've done this live performance, but now what do we do with it? We have to mix it down and create something that is going to stand a little better. Sometimes it's so good right off the bat that I don't have to do anything. Most of the time, I'm going to come back into a piece and I'm going to work it some more. So that is kind of where I'm coming from. Now, as far as themes go, I am working, to put it broadly, man, nature, industrialization, social, economic issues, and what was the other one that I've been saying lately?
I don't know, I'm sorry. I'm busy.
Busy over there?
Yeah.
She's busy. She can't help me. So I do have themes. I'm working with them quite often. I sort of answered that, and I'm sorry if that wasn't the better answer.
Yeah.
I keep a sketch, so that actually brings up a valid point. Now you got me thinking about stuff. So I carry sketchbooks all over the place, and I don't work in them as much as I should. I don't do a lot of realism sketches, although there's stuff in here. And I'll do like, is it live up there somewhere?
Yeah.
So I'll do little thumbnails, and this was, in my defense, I was doing this one-handed while my toddler was on my lap attacking me. But these are some of for the long, skinny ones that I've been doing, just working on line and shape. And even though there's no color in there, in my head I can visualize, okay, what I'm doing there. So I do a ton, and this is my son's work there. He likes to sketch in Daddy's sketchbook. So I might add some color to a few of them. I might just do something that's very gestural. I do some sculptural stuff, so I've got some sculpture ideas here that I'm working on.
What kind of paint is on the black one? I don't understand the question.
The black one? The black lines probably is what we're talking about. So I've got an acrylic latex. So this is basically a house paint, if you're talking about this one. And so it's made to go on a house, so why shouldn't I be secure about using it on a painting? I mean, it's going to go out exterior. My painting probably will never go outside. And so this works really well for me. I still like my other brands of paint a lot. Winsor Newton is one of my favorites right now, just because I don't know why, but it is. I do know why. My mom was using it, and since her passing, I've kind of, done some things with her art material that was left over, and it helps me kind of, in what's the term, in memorizing and in memorial. No, there's a term for it. This is what happens when you don't get your medication on a consistent basis because of shipping issues across the country. Anyway, so I think about my mom when I work with the paints that she was working with. So now I'm going to go. I hope I answered that. If not, if you want me to expound on that, I can.
Thanks. I think they answered it.
I can ramble all day long. I have no problem whatsoever rambling.
Hi, Yassine.
Oh, hi. Here's a pointer for you, for some of you that maybe are a little bit newer at it. When you're drawing a line with a brush or a pencil, do not look where the brush was. Keep your eye focused just ahead of the brush, okay? And that's how you can get a very nice line quality. If you look behind the brush, it's too late, and you start getting wobbly with the brush. So that's a little pointer. All right. You know what I need to do, Kristen? I can't see it. I gotta get out the stool. That no longer makes the racket like something blowing up. Listen to that.
It's the little things.
It's the little thing. Now, I'm going to be careful this time because I've already bloodied myself on the rail up here.
Yeah. This is an old garage.
So I'm just going to get up here and look. Oh, that's interesting. I definitely need to do more work. I don't want to resort to the metallics, but I'm kind of leaning towards bringing.
How is that resorting if it's just what you want to use?
I don't know, but I'm trying to work within the parameter, you know.
Hi, Anna Delgado.
I'm just trying to work within a certain context, you know. Oh, I got paint on me. Well, let me try it. I'll get the crink out. Neighbor's walking the doggy. Alright, let's see what happens with the crink. This thing likes to spit all over me. We're going to do literally 5 straight lines across this. There we go. It's brilliant. $1 million can be yours today.
Do you ever leave paintings and come back to them, or do you finish a painting and move on?
Oh. I come back to them. So right now, I don't even know if Kristen can show anybody, but there's a piece over there that has literally, here, hang on. Don't go anywhere.
I'll show you.
I'll bring it over.
I can show it.
Can you?
Yeah. Or
So-
you just come over, I guess.
Oh, this piece.
Here, hold on. Stay there.
Oh, I can stay here?
Yeah.
They can see that. So this piece has been repainted. 1, 2, 3, 4 that I've actually recorded on the back. It is so heavy now. It's like lifting. I have to be a weightlifter to move it. So yeah, sometimes paintings, art is living. It's a living being. This one here has been painted over. Actually, this is a new one. That hasn't been painted over yet. The one behind her, which is harder for you to see, that one's been repainted 3, 4, 5. Actually, I've been repainting this one for days now. She's trying to move it around. Oh, look, a brick wall. How exciting. So yeah, she's that one's been repainted quite a bit. This morning I was working on it. I almost hit my head again on it. This is why this is wrapped now in heavy towels and rags.
Another comment. Love what David is working on and the painting behind him.
Oh yeah, these are fun. And some of the art supplies. So these are door panels. Blank. They're called blanks. They're 80 inches by 36. You can get them in 24s. You can get them 24 inches wide. You can get them in skinny fellers. And it's a door, so it's 1.5 inch thick. It's a nice stable surface to work on. Love it. You can cut them, but then you've got to actually piece in some wood. And I have 6 of these in this series going right now, and I'm dealing with industrialization, the concept of that, architecture, social, city breaking down. Certainly over the last year, the series has also dealt with kind of everybody being shut in and what does it mean, and culture and social economic issues and disparities. All that normal political stuff that I swore I wouldn't do. I swore I wasn't a political artist, but there we are. So this one I'm getting really close to done with, I think. Do you think it's getting there, Kristen?
I think it's very close, but I think you're like a layer short.
I don't know how much more to go on it. I'm having a hard time. And so I often, the big guy, there's often a big one here, a different one every time you're here. There's usually one, every once a week. And then I'll have another one over there on the backside that I'll work on. And I kind of sneak up on them. So I'll be working here and then I kind of sidelong at it. And then I come back over here, work for a little bit, and I sidelong at it again. Come back. And then the next time, I got it! And I go back in and I make that one mark. And that one mark makes all the difference between good and not so good. So that's my working method. I told you it was a cash day, right? happy little flower, or a scribble, as somebody accused me of the other day, which made me laugh so hard.
Remember that TikTok comment? I guess anything can be art, and I was like, yeah, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, isn't that great? You know, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, the finished piece doesn't matter. It's what are you guys getting out of doing this? You know, are you doing it for somebody else, or are you doing it for yourself? If you're doing it for yourself, then to heck with everybody, all the haters and the people that are yakking at you and telling you all these things that are intended to bring you down because, I don't know, they have a horrible life or something. I don't know. Yes, this is scotch today. And yes, I know what time it is in my zone. So one of the little tricks I do is just simply a pencil. And if I see an area that I want to define, but I don't want to bring it all the way to the front, I just get a graphite pencil and I'll draw the lines in. And it's just a remarkable little tiny bit of a, oh, I got paint on me again. Not a highlight, but it helps delineate. I don't know how many of you can see it. I don't know if the down view is even catching this.
Yeah.
But, well, that's right. It does get this end, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's the other, you're down to connect that.
In our defense, we bought that webcam because we knew we needed it, but we could only spend $30 on a webcam so we could have this down view here. And the reason we were able to get that camera, was it last week?
Yeah.
Was due to the fact, where are they down here? Should I stand tall? Was because of the support we've gotten from quite a few of you that have gone to our, I don't have it.
buymeacoffee.com/David.Austin. It'll be in the comments.
It's in our link tree on Instagram, so go back there after YouTube. So anyway, because of the donations there, we bought this little webcam thing that's giving us the view from up above.
Instagram, guys, you can't see it, but anybody on Twitch and YouTube can.
Yes. So, I don't know if this really shows up. We'll get a better camera. As the money comes in, we'll get better equipment for things. But this really makes a difference in this detail here. So part of the finishing process I have is going back in and doing the little pencil work. If you look really closely at my pieces, there's oftentimes, like in the background, and it's hard to do it right now because everything is so wet, but there'd be like here, little windows and pictures of buildings and sometimes even people. And that is what I think gives the piece that depth, is that attention to the detail that you might not see at first glance. So I'll go back in with this pencil and just do little bits and pieces. Right now it's hard because there's a lot of wet paint in here. Does that make sense to everybody? I'm sure it does. And then sometimes you just got to go nuts and make a little squiggle line. Or a doodle, as the guy accused me of. And that's fine.
Doodling is an American, maybe it's a global pastime.
It's a global pastime. Heck yeah. Everybody doodles. You should doodle too. Everybody doodle. Doodly dee.
And the music stopped.
Oh no. That's it. It's all over now. But there's a reason. Somebody was asking earlier about the process and do I leave a painting and it's done. Well, no. These videos that I do with you guys, this is not how I normally work. And as I'm talking to you, I'm not looking at the camera because I'm looking at the piece, I'm absorbing the piece, I'm trying to decide another step. But if I'm working on my own, I literally have, Kristen can attest to this, there's at least half a dozen, if not 8 different surfaces laid out in this room. And every one of them is a work in process. Because one piece informs the next, informs the next, informs the next. Even if you're limited in your space, if you've got to work on the dining room table or your office desk or whatever, lay out a couple different small ones. So if you got one that's a little bigger, lay out some smaller ones and then work those too. That means if you get stuck here on this bigger one, you can go back to the little ones and do a little doodle or do a little something there, mark making. And then that'll inform the big piece, and suddenly you're on the roll again. And that's why it's hard for me to do these video recordings because of that. And
I'm going to see if we can get Kaftaki in here. I'm just going to see. They requested.
alive? Or
Yeah, to join us.
Oh.
Has never worked before, but I have bad luck today, so maybe today they'll switch.
someone will actually be there live. Well, that'll be a trip.
Oh, I've got us their ceiling.
Hi.
Oh, he left.
Maybe you didn't mean to do
I'm
it.
so sorry. When you guys send a request to be in our video, what it means is that the camera goes on you and we get to see you too. I think there's been some confusion on that.
Yeah, Instagram does that on purpose, I swear to God. You do not have to come and join us, literally join us. You can just watch. You can be a voyeur.
No, you can chat.
Well, you can chat, but I'm saying you don't have to do the... It comes up, because I did this with lives. It wants you to do it, but you can say, no, I don't want to do it, and you can still watch the video, just so some of you know. Some of you already know that fact.
I was thinking, like, insulting somebody and I don't accept the invitation,
No.
but I think
No,
that's the last time we tried.
I don't think most people want to.
I think it's just confusion on the app.
Yeah, it is. They've done that into it, and I think they've done that on purpose. Intentional issues. So let's see. What am I doing now? I'm just, because I like it. Pencil work occasionally. I drew some windows in it. Maybe even the other day I put a rubber ducky in it. So you never know what you're gonna find in the details. All right, so I'm gonna stand back up and take another look. Try not to hit my head on the rail.
You'll watch.
Forever and
Sorry
ever.
about that. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. If you wanted to be in, I wanted to give you the option.
Great. Now they're gone.
No, you're here.
He said, no, I don't want to be on TV. My son, our 3-year-old, was upstairs and he didn't want me to go, and I said, Daddy has to go be on TV now. No, I don't want you to be on TV. I don't know how else to describe this, because it really...
Our oldest son said we basically set up a public access channel in our garage.
So I like this idea of a pseudo-language, because I don't speak many languages, but I often do this mark making that almost looks like it could be some sort of a written language on the piece. And I find that fascinating. I don't know if anybody else does, but I do. I'm going to work within the context of this seam and do some lines. That's funny. Didn't mean for it to sound like that. Anyone else catch that one? Okay.
What is Esmond texting me about?
Probably you gotta go change a diaper or
No.
accident.
No. It
Hugo,
appears that Hugo wants a nap. Never mind.
he's up and around already.
Yeah, he's been doing that all day. He's teasing us.
Our little one is definitely not
A good sleeper.
a good sleeper. Last night was definitely no exception for me anyway. Well, actually, you did sleep all right, didn't you?
He slept okay.
I just didn't. I was up at 3 in the morning. Came down and worked for a while. So this is a gold Uni Posca, which is kind of fun to work with. A little bit reflective, dealing with so when you're moving, the light changes and shifts, then you get some different images changed. And I'm getting to the point where I'm going to be kind of stuck at this pretty quick, because there's only so much more I can do with the amount of wet surfaces on here. I might have to let it dry. I'm standing up in case, some of you can't see me. So I'm squinting too. Here's the secret to all art. Squinting. So I'm squinting down to kind of reduce some of the details, and I can see the bigger block areas and determine what do I need to do to lead the eye in the directions that I want it to go. And so I'm squinting to kind of see that. And I might add another strong black line, but on a weird angle thing going on here. Really big angle change. It's still kind of going this way. So let's do that and see if I ruin the whole thing. We got to white it all out. Start over from zero. Oh, where was that direction? Already lost it. In my defense, I'm really tired. Not having the proper medication is really a problem. I lost it due to the crappy paper.
Well, only 53 more
53 more what?
followers to make it to 7,000.
Oh, cool. We're almost at 7,000 on Instagram. Oh, I almost forgot that thing was there again.
Stop trying to hit yourself. You already have a hole in your top of your head.
God, it hurts so bad. That's been one of the most painful, and I've broken multiple limbs, but that was one of the most painful things I've felt in a long time. We were setting up the camera, and I stood up really quickly to set the camera, and wham! Right into the corner of that metal piece. Skewered my noggin.
Now it's got Gorilla Tape and old clothing on it.
Yes, as well as the other side. This is an older garage that I put a big window door in. That's it. This is coming along. It's a slow process, and this is one of the things on Saturdays I try to keep it more quick and upbeat, and the timing is going. And the midweek is a little bit more chill.
It's more like actual studio time.
Sometimes I sit in a chair and I look at a piece for 15 minutes before I make a mark. Yeah, that was needed. That